15th of Eridus, 4668. Wilfred said my name for the first time today. Kellen's eyes grew so big I thought they would fall out. 24th of Gozran, 4679. Wilfred got into a fight in the market. I should be mad, but on the way home we split a dessert. 7th of Rova, 4693. I lost myself in battle today. Will was there when I woke up, holding my hand. 13th of Neth, 4712. Wilfred, Kellen, and I left the military. We're gonna travel. 30th of Lamashan, 4716. Wilfred wants to settle in a town called Breach Hill. Kellen seems okay with it. It's small, but as long as they're happy. 9th of Farast, 4727. I watched Wilfred die today.
Go ahead and go.
Hello and welcome to Honey for Tale. Tonight we are playing episode 48 of our Pathfinder 2nd edition campaign. This is the Age of Ashes Adventure Path. Before we get into our sponsors for tonight's session, let's reintroduce our cast, starting with Daniel.
Yeah, that's all. Hi guys, Daniel. Playing Sailix 5 tonight. This is gonna be a great night.
Looking forward to it. James.
Hi, I am James. I'll be playing Waldorff Skysteel, the Dwarven Cleric, once again. Yeah, I guess that's it about me. Cannot wait to see how Ian wounds us this evening.
A little better. Promise. Jen.
Hi, I'm Jen. I will be playing the Vesperin this evening, the Sea Elf Rogue.
Dr. Mr. Smith.
Hello, I am Mr. Smith, and I'll be playing Rune Ravenswood.
All right, last but not least, Sam.
I'm Sam, and tonight I will be playing Poppy, Ava Ravenswood.
Love it when you call me Papa.
I know. We'll see what she's
You call me
All right.
Papa.
Oh no.
Things stop
All right.
moving.
Well, tonight's session is brought to you by Smiteworks, the creators of Fantasy Ground Unity, which you can see here. I think I'm pointing in the right direction. Yep, we have been using this the entire time. We will continue to use it. I will use it to my grave, and maybe a little bit after that. I don't know. I'm dabbling in necromancy. It's fantastic. I would go to fantasyground.com if you're interested in using a virtual tabletop for Pathfinder 2nd edition, because it's phenomenal. We're also using the Uni sheet, which is an Excel-based character management tool for Pathfinder 1st and 2nd edition, as well as Dungeons & Dragons. If you're interested in getting your tabletop done outside of a virtual tabletop, it's fantastic. It's cheap, and if you like Excel, it's very familiar. And then our music tonight is by Michael Gelfie and Brock Narden. You can find links to their stuff in the show notes. But let's get into tonight's game. We left at a bad place. If you can see from the map, we are at the Slag. You were brought there. Sagarak is in ruins. There is a war. Kovlar is under siege, or at least it was. And it seems you guys know what you need to do. There's been a problem. Will was captured. Sailix's brother was kidnapped using the siege on Koplar in what seems to be a distraction. Sailix's blood that had been taken about a month ago was used to pass through Jewelgate, it seems. Or at least that's what Will said before Rune sealed him off through a wall of force, allowing whatever that was to detonate. And now you're here. Waldorff, you managed to hold Sailix back long enough for Rune to complete the wall of force that sealed him off from the rest of you. Doing so, you've protected him, but I imagine eventually when the threat is no longer present, the wall of force dissolved, all that's left is pools of inky black fluid slowly dissolving into the air. Waldorff, do you let him go?
Yes. Yeah. I'm pretty sure it'll hurt me if I don't.
Yeah. Alex, what are you doing?
Sailix just kind of starts murmuring to himself as he drops Leviathan against the ground, walking towards the black pool of what used to be his little brother. He just kind of like kneels in it as he's trying to like scoop it together. All of a sudden, he'll like turn his head over his shoulder. Rune, you have to. You brought Monica back. You bring him back right now.
Is that what you want?
You bring me my little brother back.
I'll do that if you like. It can't happen now. It takes time.
Vesperin just looks at Rune in horror.
Sailix just kind of holds up his hands that are gripping the black fluid.
Rune will wave, just sort of wave his hand in that direction as the remnants that are left on the ground begin to sort of coalesce into just a blob, I guess is what it would be. If you like, I'll hold on to the remains.
He's just kind of sitting there, like in a stunned silence.
I'm gonna go put his hand on Sailix's shoulder. My friend.
Yeah. At the contact, like Sailix just kind of like leans his head against his chest and just kind of like collapses.
Rune will kneel down. Seems like we've been here before with Mordecai. Like before, we have no time to cry. Be focused, my friend. I told you, someone has crossed the line today. We will find them. Hurt them.
Sailix will nod. And that pendant that Waldorff had given him earlier, he'll kind of pull off of his neck and stare down into it. With being this close, Rune would probably notice that the reflection that's independent isn't Sailix's reflection. It's Zestrix that looks back. I know where to find her. Zestrix, come get me.
No, Sailix. Not now.
It feels cold
Does not happen now.
around you. Rune, you know you can speak to Sailix faster through telepathy. That bond, that telepathic bond, it's still sustained. Who's it with?
Let's see. It would be with Waldorff, the Vesperin, Sailix, and Aghi.
Well, did we recast
Well, you can
it?
choose you.
Because he wasn't in it
What
the
was that?
last game.
Sailix wasn't
Who
in
wasn't?
the
Sailix?
telepathic bond.
Yeah, he wasn't. He only just arrived.
Oh, that's fair. That's fair. That's fair. Rune does have Mind Link, which is a 6-second cast to transfer a ton of information in a very short period of time.
It's a two-way information.
Yes.
Well, you feel something stirring in him. You don't think you have a lot of time.
Well,
if you need to have
we'll
a
make this quick then.
conversation with him,
Well, if Sailix will get a chance to have a will save for this, if he's not accepting.
Sailix, do you accept it?
Yeah, he will accept.
All right. It gets colder by the second, but Rune, you have time, so go ahead.
Fuck off, Sailix. Calm the fuck down. Get your shit together. You do not run from this. You do not leave us behind. Neither he nor anyone would want that.
I'm
You're
not
sad.
running, Rune.
You're grieving. I get it.
I'm not running at all. I'm going to face the problem.
You're going to face it alone.
He wanted my
Can't let you
attention,
do that, lad.
and now she has it.
With that, the portal opens. Splits begin to sink
Dispel
to
it?
the floor.
Dispel it?
Is that a roll?
It is a I believe it is a contested roll. Rune will be spending charges from his staff. You cast it at
All right, so we'll use that for his shadow magic spell. So what is
so what level
roll
is
that's
the what level is this what level is the spell?
That is a good question. Sailix, would you happen to know?
What was the question again?
The spell level for summon Celestial.
What level was his for summon
Yeah.
9. Or
Yeah.
Yeah, I got it at
Yeah.
9.
What level is it?
Yeah.
What spell level?
Well, it's heightened to 9. I think it's heightened to 6th. I think it only goes up to 6th.
Right. I don't know spells, I'm sorry.
No, you're fine. So,
In
Yes,
theory,
the
it's
sixth
only.
level.
All right. I will have to expend 6th level charges to get a straight contested roll. Basically, it is my spell attack versus the spell DC.
Right. All right, make a spell attack roll for me. Sailix.
Yes.
The summoning fails. It's interrupted. You know who did it.
Oh,
It was Rune.
Sailix is going to punch Rune right in the gut.
Right. Hard. Is that flame or sonic damage
It's going to be Sonic.
in the punch? All right. Well, you're knocked clean back, Rune. If you, I mean, I imagine you can try to.
He has resistance to sonic.
Ooh. And with that, it's absorbed. Clap implodes on itself, and he's still standing.
Go ahead, hit me again.
Yeah.
You let me go right now.
No. Me again.
I need to speak with her, Rune.
No, there's no speaking. You're off to kill. If you can find her.
She's got to be close.
No, she doesn't.
You know how it works.
Yeah, I know how the planes work. She doesn't have to be close at all. Do not let this destroy you, Sailix.
Sailix kind of walks back up to Rune. His fist unclenched as he kind of touches the side of Rune's face. And there's nothing left to destroy Rune.
Yeah, there is.
At that,
We're not
Vesperin would walk forward.
Would you look into our daughter's eyes and tell her that? She looks to you as a hero. She will be the one who needs you the most to help her through this. Would you abandon her so easily?
How am I supposed to look at her, letting her know that I let Will die?
You did not let anything happen to him. What was
It's
done
not
to Will was
you.
not done by your hand. Does she not also deserve a part in the vengeance? Would you deny her that as well?
Sailix, you hear what they say, but you still feel, oh, something happened a moment ago. You don't see Zestrix's reflection in your necklace as you look down upon it. But that coldness is still there. And you know that when you look through it, you see the plane of shadow mirrored on the other side. Parallel reality. Perhaps Zestrix is out in there somewhere now.
I'll not deny Colleen her vengeance, because I won't deny either of you. He squeezed the pendant in his jeweled hand, focusing on it. I'll not be played as a puppet any longer.
But you are already
I love you
marching to
both.
the drum.
Sailix.
If you go now, they will have you exactly where they want you, under their power. Their blood will be all theirs to control. With us, you stand a chance. Without us, you do not.
And we don't stand a chance without you, lad. Not against Vishemerix.
He'll take a step back and look at everybody.
Rune will take a step forward, matching.
Without my will, I don't want to draw breath anymore.
Rune will swing his staff at Sailix in the face. Miss or not,
Have
he
you
just
all
swings.
gone mad? This is what they want. They want us fighting amongst each other.
Yeah,
We need to go and finish what we've started.
I
You're acting like
agree.
a bunch of school children on the playground.
Yeah, we are. Because sometimes the only thing Sailix responds to is a good punch in the face.
His head is big enough for it.
Waldorff
Sailix,
would
you take
round
the
on
hit.
Sailix and repeat his exact words back to him. What did you just tell me? Not 10 minutes ago, standing over on that wall that just came down. You take it and you use it. We can all go after we're done here, but we have a job to do. And we need you here, not running off on some petty vengeance mission. You take it and you use it. And we'll go together when it's the time. But if you run off half-cocked, you're only going to get yourself killed and the rest of us at the same time. We need you here.
Dwarf, something, as he wipes blood, his blood from his mouth, from the staff, onto the gem. Something you should know about me. I am one selfish prick.
Oh, I've already figured that out quite a while ago.
Sailix, you notice when you step back from the blow, your foot touched the puddle, and you didn't realize until you were wiping the blood from your face. That inky black, it has a reflection. You see yourself if you peer at the right angle, but it reminds you of something. Not the shadow, but the lineage. The slag is hewn stone, cut with large divots, just seemingly infinite. It's a massive base to something never created, but as this inky jet black fluid spills out, it runs down the inlets of the bricks and it branches out. And for a while, before it gets messy, it looks like a tree. And it reminds you of this messy, messy family tree of yours. Not typical for an elf. Usually it's clean cut and you can trace the lineage back all the way to the Earthfall if you want, but yours is different. You go up 2 generations and you're dealing with something dark from another dimension. And if you go in the other direction, well, you don't even know who your mother is, but you realize that that shadow within you, that which Zestrix inherited and what you were given, is only one half of it. If that was your grandfather, it was your grand. This can't be you. So if it's tools that Hysteria is playing the game with, what else do you have in you?
Sailix.
You notice while you were looking down, the necklace has been removed from you.
The necklace is gone.
Yeah. You don't know who has it, but you have a feeling somebody does.
Sailix. Don't be selfish here. Don't get lost in your own head.
The air around them would probably start to get thicker, I guess would be a good word for it. Rune would probably notice this first, as it's probably more magic based, that swelling in the immediate area. Something that usually happens around when wizards cast like longer base spells as the energy builds up around them. The shadows on Sailix are seeming to swirl more violently than they did before, as the ferrofluid-like substance that had filtered throughout the wings and everything is pulled back into his body.
Looking down in the pool, you see Sailix. Familiar face. Familiar to you. Looking up at you. Zestrix. Your twin. His hand is outstretched in the reflection as he sees what you're conjuring. What do you do?
Sailix will point his hand towards the outstretched hand of the puddle, and all that energy that he had built up, he will release it into the said puddle towards his brother.
I'll find her. Sailix. I'll send her back here to you. I'll avenge him. You see the ferrofluid-like, viscous, black material grow up Zestrix's arm. Opposite what happened to Sailix. Everything turns dark. with his counterpart, his brother. You see the reflection of this pool, and he disappears into it. Presumably, he's in the plane of shadow now, hunting the woman that did this.
I presume the rest of us just saw him shoot at the ground.
Yeah.
That the familiar looking shadow blast that he usually throws out would have been it looked like.
How does Sailix
Are you
look
in
now?
doubt now?
So in the corresponding aftermath of the shadow blast, Sailix looks, I guess, incredibly different, because now all the black inkiness that he had all over him is gone. His subtle porcelain-like features are starting to show through again under the crystal growths that are now no longer black, but like a foggy quartz kind of looking. And the wings don't drip shadow as they just kind of softly shine. And the blood that was dripping from his lip ruined earlier attack falls into the pool of blackness under his feet, and it makes a sizzling noise.
What was that then?
Yeah, Rune, you've got an idea of what this might mean.
What did you let go of, Sailix?
He'll push past Rune and Vespa as he's heading towards the tunnel. Everything. Holding his hand out, Leviathan just kind of jumps to his grip. Let's do this mission.
I feel like Vesperin just exchanges a look with Rune.
Get this over
Waldorff
with
is looking
then.
We brought
very
back-
concerned.
To the present, you hear a distant battle raging on. The city was haunted, but now it's something completely different. I take it you're all headed somewhere, right? Shumerix?
Yeah, I believe that's the
Yeah.
plan.
Yep.
All right. Well, it isn't necessarily far to get there. Half of a mile up a path, you don't encounter much more than a few ghouls. There are zombies about. Occasionally a small aberration, something gnawing at your feet. It's not hard. But something feels wrong when you arrive. The choking mines, long ago, it was how Sakarak got its resources. Strip mines, they're very deadly, treacherous, too much water, and magma. The collapses. It seemed like this place was haunted before Sagarak was even known for hauntings. They closed it down and created the Great Mine. The Great Mine, where they thought things would be safer, and they were for a time. leading up to the fall of this city. But you get there are far too many entrances, and the signs at these entrances, they're so confusing that this place, you imagine, would take forever to search. If Shumarix is here, you don't know how long it's going to take to find him. Maybe it was intentional. What's your approach?
Is there a way to tell which paths have been the most traveled, perhaps? Like with tracks or just general wear?
Yeah, that's
you
a
know.
survival check.
Okay. My survival is not very good, but I'll do my best, guys.
Can I help with
Oh,
that, since this is
Bruno
kind of my
joined in.
territory?
Yeah.
Nice.
Okay. You all search.
I have a thing.
Try to find it. And
Sorry, go ahead.
you can't find anything indicating that there's a path worth taking over anything else. There are 5 good leads, though, that you've identified. 5 main chambers where you know that there is some sort of recently used facilities down below.
I would like to cast Stone Tell, and I would like to ask the stone.
Stone Tell.
Mm-hmm.
What is etiquette for speaking to a stone? How would you?
It reads, you can ask questions of and receive answers from natural or worked stone. You speak with the natural spirits of the stone. And, well, it doesn't... A stone's perspective, perception, and knowledge give it a worldview different enough from a human's that it doesn't consider the same details important. But they can mostly answer questions about creatures that touched them in the past and what is concealed beneath or behind them. And I would like to just kind of ask who has passed recently, or which path has been used most recently.
The paths of the ones before, he says.
The paths of the ones before me. Which has been touched by dwarven hands. And I would imagine the shape of a crown. Because stones understand shape.
Yeah. They speak in shape and they understand what you mean.
We seek
The
the
crown.
shape.
Crown. Learns this word for the shape you mentioned, and she ponders it. Crown. The crown below.
The shortest path.
Pause to find the right way to say, but it doesn't know how to say, so instead it offers a shape. The shape of a dwarf's hand. However, you see an elongation of what you would call the ring finger. It offers you that shape through the stone pel. And you realize that the other 4 fingers would be dead ends for you, for what you're looking for. And you realize that there are 5 main paths here.
I would convey this to the rest of the group and point to the appropriate, or what I would believe to be the appropriate path out of the 5. That 4th path to that side.
Good direction as any. Let's go.
Megan, scout ahead.
With
Unless
that,
we
you
want
head
to let
down.
Sailix set off every trap with his face.
We can just throw him first.
Now, it's interesting. Sailix is not... It's not who he became when the shadows took him, but he's not who he was even prior to that. He seems different.
Dead inside?
But I want to emphasize that the last day, that's sort of true for all of them. Poppy, you didn't know Will, did you?
Oh. She might have met him at Dorian's funeral, but that's about it.
He didn't attend. But you did see him die. You didn't see Dorian die, but he did. And you know Waldorff, and he's different. Once upon a time, he seemed pretty optimistic, broken, but optimistic, but he doesn't have his safety blanket anymore. The forge was destroyed. But I wonder, more importantly, how is your brother doing?
Poppy would quicken her step to match Rune's, catch up with him. She has a pocket watch in her hand that she's holding up to her ear as she catches up to him, and just sort of takes his hand in her own.
She accepts it gladly. Sorry you had to be here, Poppy.
I'd always be here for you, Rune.
I know that. Didn't have to be here. Whatever happens, run.
She just sort of gives him a smile. Only if you're running with me, brother. I won't lose you for another 10 years.
I'll always be around. Don't you worry.
Does anybody scramble to make headway and to get ahead?
I mean, yeah, like I said,
4 of us does.
my character would, just go invisible and try to get ahead to do some scouting.
Right.
Looking for all the traps, Ian. All of them.
Oh,
I feel like I would be
perception
bringing
checks.
up the rear.
Yeah.
I'd be covering our retreat.
Yeah, especially speaking to the stone. I think it makes sense that you would do that. Now, let's get some perception checks as you search. This place is through and through. It's a mine. It never became anything more than that. Unlike the Great Mine, which was besieged about 2 months ago, this place looks like it was just for digging up ore and bringing it to the surface. It looked like people had miserable lives working it, and it's evidenced by the living spaces up on the pseudo surface that is Sagarak. There's nothing but misery here, and it's evident. It looked like from the remains people used to eat and even sleep down here sometimes. Every once in a while there's a branching off and you can see living quarters. And then about every 20 minutes of travel as you descend, you notice it does get warmer over time. And every once in a while it opens up to a wide cavern, ritualistically carved, and then there will be a railing you can descend. Vesper, in one such time, you realize you reach sort of a fork. And as you make your way towards one, a well-lit, open chamber, intricately carved for what seems like meaningless purpose. There's no point in carving open a perfectly spherical chamber, except in the case that you want someone to waste their time and break their back for almost no yield in return. This is a strip mine. It doesn't make sense that someone would do this, except this place is preserved from when this happened hundreds of years ago. And you see in the flat base on the bottom, a detachment. 20, 30, 40 soldiers in armor, glowing red eyes, and what looks to be like almost sand wisping away from their flesh. They're working away. Some of them smiths, crafting armor. They don't see you because you're invisible. And if you weren't, they probably wouldn't see you anyway. But what do you do?
I communicate what I'm seeing through the telepathy, just giving them the mental pictures of what's ahead and generally being like,
Yeah.
what am I looking at, wizard? You are muted.
I am muted.
Orcus is with you as well.
Recall knowledge check, religion, arcana, occult, what would be appropriate?
Well, you imagine if anybody is working for this squirmy little dwarf hiding underground, it would be an undead. So, I think religion is usually the go-to there.
Can I try too?
For perception, yeah.
I meant for the religion one.
Oh, for religion, yeah.
Yeah, because I already rolled the perception. Unless I have to roll another perception?
Yeah, that perception was for traps up the road, which you didn't encounter, so it doesn't matter. But, good job, Riddle.
Okay.
Well, if the Shumerix controls the undead, it would only make sense that he's arming them. And that's just what this looks like. Maybe a small army. Waldorff, you never found
type.
The type.
Go ahead.
Yeah, what do you glean here? There's an immense amount of heat coming off of their body. It's magical, and you know that because as one grips a longsword, it ignites in flame. This whole place is... Say again?
Did you want me to roll a second perception?
You can if you would like.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Because he only knows as much as he can get through Corvus and yourself.
What do my
I should
elvish
probably roll a
eyes see?
perception for Corvus.
Because I do have the legendary perception too, which I think is extra good if I roll well.
Yeah, you see up on the ceiling of this dome. So you are on a walkway, a sort of catwalk that eventually goes back and it moves down this circular chamber. But with the exception of flat base, it is almost perfectly circular. Why that would make any sense, you don't understand. It just doesn't make any sense. And even parts where maybe it crumbled in, it looks like it had been filled some pursuit of perfection here, but it doesn't make sense because no other part of the mine reflects this. And what's more is now it's like a de facto armory of the Shumerix's soldiers. These soldiers didn't even arrive on the attack on Kovlar. This is some other detachment.
Is there something on the ceiling, like, or are there any sort of chambers or anything? Like, basically, does it look like there is anything in this room where stuff could come into it to fill it? Or is it just simply like a spherical room with the entrance and the exit?
Yeah, well, it's fantastic that you mentioned the ceiling. There seems to be some sort of inscription.
Ow.
In old, but not ancient dwarven. Too far to read
Okay.
from here. It's very small.
Even with my super awesome eyesight. That 39 with that
This is
legendary
as someone would
perception,
write
man.
on a piece of paper. Yeah, and see if it had been a 40, I think you would.
Ah, you dig!
Just a little bit. That's not the case for Corvus. Does Corvus know Dwarven by proxy?
I know Dwarven, so yes.
All right, so by proxy, he does. Is he part of this telepathic bond by proxy?
Well, he's telepathy with me. So yes.
All right. Well, it's a prayer to Droskar.
I was gonna say. Knew it.
Rune over the bond. I believe we are entering a temple to Droskar.
Hey, that tracks.
The runes you see, Vesperin, prayer to the god. Do the these soldiers or undead that are mining and creating these weapons, do they look like the starved, or are they different?
They look different, but here's the thing. Baral's men look different. King Baral's men were grave knights. Undead soldiers, they weren't begging for food. They were called on a sort of quest by their king. Perhaps this is something similar. They look fearsome and capable, and almost as many in number as the grave knights that Aghi has. Vespa, you count just one shy of 4 dozen in this massive chamber. And you could double back if you would like, but you know that there's an exit that leads even further down if you were to somehow bypass them.
My other question is there anything in, near where they're working that looks vaguely explosive?
No. It's a forge, but They look
Okay.
makeshift, not designed with the self-destruct mechanism that you might recognize at other forges, or at least not that you can tell. And even then, there's so many of them. It would have to be a real lucky straight. But telepathically, party, go ahead. What is the plan?
I kind of help but feel that there's something else within this chamber's purpose. If it has this spherical shape, it seems like something to be filled, maybe. I don't know. But
How big is this chamber again? Like diameter wise?
Maybe 150 feet in diameter. Type.
there is an exit. Do you want me to keep going?
Would I recognize the prayer that's on the ceiling? Would I be able to glean any sort of information from what that might be doing something specific after my time under Drosko's tutelage?
Yeah, and as Rune recited what was said, if he did, it's tragic because the real gift, the real blessing from Droskar is the gift of toil. And it was the prayer that those Kitsune would say, not because they wanted to, but because they had to. As they turned that machine, connected to a chain, connected to a chain, connected to another chain, it spun a massive cylindrical rock across a high friction surface for no reason. That might be what this is. A tribute to hard work and the callous created from it.
I would communicate that to the group, that this is a monument to toil itself. This is
definitely get a cathedral
perfection
vibe from this place.
The perfection of suffering.
For what it's worth, Rune will be speaking out loud as much as in his head when he does talk, to ensure that Poppy and Sailix are kept in the loop. All right. So the question is, does the Vesperin, or should the Vesperin move forward? What is the pathway through these creatures? Pretty straightforward. Do we have the ability to go around them?
Yeah, so
we should destroy them and take his toys away.
Now you count 47.
Yeah.
I do have a fun little spell, since we got all of our spells back, with a 60-foot burst of massive damage against undead.
How best about that?
I would kind of project the image of what happened at the wall, where I cast the sunburst in the middle of the undead, and it's a massive globe of fire damage plus additional positive damage to undead creatures. 500-foot range, 60-foot burst.
For what it's worth, I do get the impression these particular undead have a bit of a fire affinity and might be resistant.
The other trouble is that any delay we take in stopping here, getting distracted, making noise, is more time that the Chimerics can flee. Presuming
as more of our resources we use up.
It's all good for Vesperin to be able to get past them, but how do the rest of us get around them?
Ian, are we all on a catwalk way above them?
You are. They've approached
Yeah.
where this dome begins. They haven't
Okay.
risked crossing into the place where they would have to stealth out yet.
Okay.
But the rest of the
Okay.
party have arrived by now, and they're waiting from a safe
Okay.
distance. I imagine you're somewhere on the catwalk. So it's essentially an igloo shape opening.
Mhm.
You are at a catwalk that runs over the top of it, and then it runs down and along until it reaches the base, and then you would walk across again to reach the entryway to the cave that continues down below. So it's just a very long zigzag.
Exposed.
Okay, but how far below us would they be?
Algebra. So it's a dome, 100 feet in diameter. I'd say you've got about 30 feet of a drop before it's there.
Okay. There are catwalks that lead over them, and if you are able to not be so loud, they seem pretty focused on what it is they are doing.
Brune gives a dwarf a once-over. I believe he's wearing thick stone armor. Is that right?
Pretty much, yeah.
Huh. And how quiet has that armor been so far?
I mean, I've got a plus 19 to stealth. But I would imagine that I probably have not been very quiet.
You notice someone in a small grid of anvils. It looks like people are crafting. Most of them are undead, except for one. Sailix, Rune, Vesperin, you've met her. The face is quite familiar. It's been a long time, though.
Where do we know her from?
She's grabbing a sword. If you're having trouble with it, you can roll to recall knowledge. Flat intelligence, and
Flat.
Waldorff.
Oh, yeah.
Poppy, you don't recognize. 18. That Arjul Longbridge. She was a scout investigating an anomaly by Jewelgate. She brought a forge master to inspect it. Coincidence, have it, she arrived just in time to aid the Unforgotten. They were attacked by gods that had taken residence in that
Who's
little
one of our guides?
She was. She led you to sacrifice. Went about the business as a ranger, and at some point, you imagine recent, the news hadn't even hit yet. At some point, she was captured. Now she's making a weapon.
Vesperin would communicate this telepathically.
Well, possible she's been dominated. All right, we saw the problem at hand. Do we go through or do we go over?
My vote is to get to the Shimmerix as quickly as possible, limiting our exposure if we are able.
Fine to agree with that. Sailix, Dwarf, Poppy, opinions?
Sailix has been strangely silent, telepathically even.
I'll follow your lead. The shit hits the anvil. Rain hell down.
Poppy?
Oh, I agree with Dwarf. We need to get this crown.
Fair enough. Sailix? Any other thoughts?
And at Rune asking Salix a question, he just kind of reaches out his belt, and that mask that he holds at there, he just kind of puts it on his face.
Got it.
Well then.
Fair
So what's
enough.
the plan?
We'll
Is
go
it
over.
stealth checks?
Stealth checks, I think, is
Stealth
what we're going to
checks.
try for, yeah.
Don't forget, too, Smith, Vespa gave Rune one of the vials of Dust of Disappearance, in case somebody needs that.
That just grants invisibility and not silence, right?
Yes. But
Alright.
it could help. Because if
It's
there's
Kind of like
Could
time
help,
my
for sure.
footsteps with the hammer blows from the forge.
Yeah,
Anvil.
like if there's a rock that gets kicked or something, maybe it just came loose if there's nobody actually there.
All right, so you make your way across this catwalk. Well, the problem is you would either have to jump down 30 feet and scoot into the cave opening, or somehow shimmy down. You'd have to get down some way, because the only way down across, where you're sitting over where you need to be, because again it's igloo shaped and you wouldn't be going out the igloo, you would have to go around and down on the catwalk lowers itself down around, and you'd have to walk straight through this crowd. So you'd have to find your way down somehow, and there would be a stealth check involved, you imagine. It's a well-lit
Well,
place.
Rune offers he can grant everyone feather fall if they just jump off.
I'm down.
All right.
I mean, 30 feet, I would
So-
just make the jump.
It'd be too loud.
Well, but then you land loudly.
Yeah,
All right.
I'll take feather
So I
fall.
think that gives us 4 stealth checks.
Okay.
You can do it, guys.
Guys,
That's great.
Oh.
Stealth check.
Oh God!
And can
There's hero
I hero point that?
guys. Hero
Can I hero
points.
point that?
yeah. Yeah.
Using my 1 hero point.
Anyone else
Oh,
get a hero
dear
point?
God.
Anything?
Yeah, I used a hero point. There we go.
Ugh.
You.
Am I gonna hero point?
Are you going to hero point it? That's a good question. Salix, you don't need
Oh
to.
my God.
He's not trying to run it. He's not trying to run it all.
So,
Oh my God.
Vesperin, Poppy, you have no issue. I mean, assurance cleans you for that, Vesperin. It's effortless, almost thoughtless. Rune, you're invisible as well. Is that correct?
No, he is not.
All right.
Um,
Oh, so yeah, right.
Keep in mind that I am also have the Durkite armor, so I'm constantly concealed.
Well, Rune, you land. Poppy, you land beside him. No one seems to notice. Vesper and you somewhere. They probably have to look to find you, or they don't. They just assume you're wherever you need to be. You can fade in and out of existence by just sneaking past reality. And Waldorff, you're not quite that way. You land with a thud. It was good, but these things are pretty elite. They stop for a second. Some of the undead stop hitting the hammer. They haven't turned around just yet. They just thought someone maybe dropped something. They were ready to yell at a slave. But, Sailix, how do you land? Because it doesn't seem like you tried that hard.
He really didn't. Sailix, he lands like it's a walk in the park, really. Like he's not like sneaking anything. He's just fucking. He lands where like round about everybody else, and he's just kind of like kept going.
Okay, party. You have a few seconds.
Let me know. Let me know if if there are groups of them turning to look this way.
Yes, but you have a few seconds. It's quite apparent that there's no way no one's going to look. It was a loud crash for Waldorff. And Sailix
Invisibility
sort of
sphere.
lands. Excellent. And suddenly they're all staring at a wall directly towards you, but it's something about being looked by an undead in the eyes that nobody ever really gets strong enough to resist. So I need will saves, because now you've entered the frightful presence of the undead.
Really?
From everybody or just them?
Everyone, since some of them are close enough. Unless you were somehow still more than 30 feet away. If you were still up there, you wouldn't need to. But dropping in, it sort of feels
Yeah, no.
like a sea of that energy.
Ah,
Oh,
damn it, it was almost a 20. So if I get a success at a will save, I get a critical success instead, by the way. Ian. Because of
Really?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Resolve, huh? Well, these things don't scare you.
I'm
You
like
saw
not making
undead
eye
people
contact.
recently, yeah. And I can't say the same for Sailix and Vespa. The DC's failed, not critically, at a 21 or a 26.
I'm
Could hear a
gonna
point.
hero point. Yeah.
Yeah.
So what is the frightened condition?
Frightened 1.
Nice.
Whoa. That is a success. You're not affected. Alex, you are frightened by something. Maybe them. Maybe the odds. I mean, it's really a lot of them. You don't know what these people are capable of. If they're Grave Knights, you might really be in danger. It only took a few of them to take out Vesperin. And you've seen her take down dozens of people. It's status penalty, the checks. To checks in DCs. All of them.
For how long?
I don't know. You don't know. It's
What?
sort of. But they move.
Go ahead.
They move towards that area. It looks like they're looking for something. Maybe a shield that dropped. They yell and neck roll to somebody up in the catwalk. At least a couple of them do, but they don't get a response. There's nobody up there. But they move towards you a lot. What do you do?
Rune expresses to everyone around him that there's a sphere of visibility over. We should just all move back and away very quietly, very carefully.
Is there a way I can use, because, like, I'm pretty sure make a distraction is not something that breaks invisibility, because it's not an attack or anything. So is there a way that I could, like, do something where, you know, it makes it look like, I don't know, like, a rock or something like dozens of feet away from us or whatever, so we can get through the thing?
Yeah, if you need to buy some time, you're actually not far from the opening to further below.
Okay.
You could probably outpace them as long as you stay within the sphere.
What you knowing? I have bravery, that class feature. So any frightened effect, any frightened condition is reduced in its value by 1.
Okay. So you face it. You return to them not out of a lack of caution, but I don't know if you're capable of being afraid of anything right now. But you know that the visibility sphere is moving back. You might be so inclined to follow.
Yeah, he would follow.
Esperin has created a decoy. Something of a justification. If they think maybe a rock fell from the stone catwalk, then all is well, right? Now, Vespa, as you do it, where do you throw this rock?
I would say, she would try to like aim it in the like near enough so it makes sense like why it was coming from this direction, but like if we're over here and we're all back here or whatever, like she would do it over here, so it's like, okay, well, we know it came from this side, but it's actually over there instead of over here where the party is.
Right. And you have no issue planting that. You're invisible yourself. You can break the sphere as they're headed towards clearing this place. You see something off in the corner. It's a pile of equipment, looks like. Some of it was seized from attacks. There have been undead attacks for as long as Sagarak has been a dark, twisted place. Then there's also some of this equipment that's been crafted. It's just sort of a stockpile, but you see something sort of at the top of this pile. I messaged you.
Oh no.
No, the rest of the party, you've headed down. You're out of the woods. It's getting warmer and warmer as you descend, though. You could see when you were out there that there was some heat coming up naturally. So magma might be an issue here. Dwarves are exceptionally good at navigating flow, following it, and using it to their advantage at the forge. But Vespa, it would be difficult. Okay, a lot of eyes. Looks to be someone wearing a gold cape. He's stroking a withered beard that just meets undead flesh. And he inspects the pile. He's chatting in Necrol with one of his undead soldiers about it, bragging maybe. He looks around.
What a dick.
What do you do?
All right.
What do you do?
I hate you. She will continue on with the mission.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah.
That's a first.
What are you talking about? Wow.
So you've cleared it. You head down. It gets warmer and warmer and warmer. It's the kind of heat that stripping down doesn't necessarily fix. Isn't ventilation. And it's not expensive to create the ventilation. It's old magic. It's something they understand well. Maybe it's not here as a punishment to people who worked here before, but it's uncomfortable, and you don't know how much farther you can go before it might become painful. You guys do?
Vespern is gonna drink her super cool elixir of whatever the fuck it's called. Salamander elixir.
Mm. And that helps. You know that it's warm, but it doesn't give you discomfort. Runite, do you have something for that?
Rune has endure
Muted.
elements, so he's fine.
There it is. All right. Sailix.
Sailix and his resistance to flames.
Yeah.
Would that help at all?
I think it would. It might.
It might. Whatever.
Waldorff and Poppy, I guess you just have to bear with it, right?
I'm tapping into my forge experience and just sweating buckets.
Yeah.
Um,
Any words of to your friend there?
how
No.
bad is the heat for
actually.
Poppy?
Yeah, Poppy, how are you feeling right now?
Well, she's trying to put on a brave face, but I'm sure she's like miserable and
Yeah.
trying not to show it. But Rune would probably recognize that she is like, like when it's just so hot and it's hard to keep walking, like it's just like a chore to keep putting one step in front of the other to keep going down.
Right.
Yeah. All right. I will spend 2 of the last 3 charges on a staff to grant his sister endure elements as well.
Poor dwarf.
For that?
Poor door.
Charge for that? He'll be fine. He's a dwarf. This is normal.
I lived in a forge for the last how long? Although I was generally not wearing full plate armor.
How does it feel for Poppy?
So as they're walking, Rune gets fairly quiet and seems to slow a bit as the magical energies are forming in the staff. And there's just sort of this wave of coolness that sort of sets over Poppy as the heat and the oppressive air just sort of melt away, allowing her to kind of breathe a little easier. And certainly the heat that was once there is considerably dissipated. It still felt, but not as harsh as it was.
Right.
That's better.
Excellent. And this will help you more than you know. You reach a room that is bathing in heat. Before it seemed like cruelty or sadism. Now it just seems like stick. It's explicitly unbearable in here. You don't imagine this to be the home of mundane life. Not as you know it. And suddenly the repeating pattern over and over again, it's natural pattern into a manufactured structure, like a mine or a tunnel or a hallway, a corridor, sometimes a small underground room, but there's nothing really in here. It's been cleared out. But then it would alternate to more natural cavern, and then a carved room, natural cavern. Sometimes you get the dome, but they're all abandoned. Everyone seems to be coming up to the front, though. There used to be soldiers here, and they're moving up. It's going to take a long time if you continue down this way. You know that there's a battle going on, and after you reach about the hour mark, according to the map that you remember up top, you might be a third of the way there. I ask if party wishes to continue, knowing they have to accept that this is an extremely long and winding and sort of a useless path. It doesn't go in the same direction. It doesn't even always just go down. You've been going up as much as down, and forward as much as back. So you don't really have a good idea of where this is even leading to. It's not like you're going to end up on the surface or further down. It's not really clear, but you know you have a lot longer to go.
Arun has no intention of stopping.
I'll follow your lead.
I take it there's no way to talk to the stone again to find out if there is a swifter path through.
Not today.
Then we just
And
keep
so
going.
I hope.
If not,
Sailix,
maybe stone.
certainly silent, and Poppy, how do you feel about this?
About Sailix going quiet?
No, about why you're here. What this is for. You fought a fight up there, and now you've abandoned it. If the undead are rising from the grave like it seems, Kovlar is in trouble. But apparently half a day's travel is what it takes to get to this mysterious Shumerix and his crown.
It's hard because one of the tenets of Aristil is to stay away and protect her family. Right now, that's Rune. So, despite what's going on up in Kovlar, she needs to stay with her brother.
Right. In this small stop, as you take a second to realize how far you've gone and how much more you have to go. Waldorff, you're feeling the heat.
Mm-hmm.
It got better as you rose up again. It sort of gets better and worse, but you're feeling the fatigue from sweating through your armor. Countless hour after hour. You feel as if you're slaving away again. That's how it feels in terms of this exhaustion. And you know if the Shumerix is the dwarf you think he is, there's going to be a fight. But you have to make a decision. Are you going to be exhausted by the time you get there? What do you do?
I think that he would actually tap into that emotion, that memory of spending countless days in the forge. You know, the long forge days, the relentless heat, and in that sense of, if it didn't kill me before, it's not going to kill me now.
Yeah.
And when the time comes to fight, I will fight. You know, might take a like a restoration spell of some kind to get me back up to full once we get there, but he's just gonna grit his teeth and bear it and continue forward. If that's what the rest of the group is doing, then that's what he's gonna do, you know. If there's any like water barrels or anything that's along the way, he's like dumping water inside his armor to try and cool off.
Yeah. Great idea.
Chugging
And
everything
best
that he's
friend,
got.
right? Probably not hard to get water for your friends here, but best friend, do you say anything to anybody before you move back into this scouting ahead?
Yeah, when we have the crown, I will need to go back to that room. There is something that I left behind.
I don't think we've
You
got much
do
of a
back
choice
away?
but to go back out the way that we came in.
Yeah.
Oh crap, that means we're gonna have to take this walk again. I might just stay down here and die.
Dwarf,
I'd
don't
really
you
prefer
dare.
it if you didn't. Who would be my drinking
Oh,
buddy?
no. Well, you got me there.
Something up there, something back to fun. Interesting. How she said it. But with that, I take it you continue on down.
Yeah.
Through sheer force of will. No pun intended.
I feel like
I'm sorry. I could only make one salamander elixir.
Wow. Okay, 1 second.
I love you, Daniel.
I'm giving Waldorff a hero point, and then
For the bad
I'm
part.
giving you one for the endure elements for Poppy. You probably didn't need to help her that way, but you did, and it's given her the strength to go on. You have a couple hours, at least, of travel according to the rough map, and about halfway through what you have left, you hear strange murmuring coming from the hall. It's like how you would imagine stone tell, but it's not, because stones don't speak the way that you would imagine from a fairy tale. This instead is like a rumbling, a voice projected from somewhere else.
Think I'm going mad from the heat.
Is it saying anything in particular, or is it just a sound?
It's a hum.
Perception?
Yeah, you can. Anyone can.
Would I possibly recognize it as a forge song of some, like a dwarven chanty?
It has the rhythm of one, yeah, but there aren't any words, so it would be hard to recognize. There are so many of them. You
Oh, is this perception from all
go
of us?
on the way to me. I sound of a dwarf speaking tall Dane or
Ooh,
common.
no good. Overall for chorus, though.
Yeah,
Rune's hood is over his eyes and you didn't notice.
that's what you noticed.
Orvis, however, did
project-
much better.
Yeah, there's a very specific ringing sound, a sort of Doppler effect when it comes to project voices or artificial voices. You can catch it if you're clever, and this thing is fabricated. It's magical. And it's pointed in the direction of you at the end of this hall, and you notice 80 feet away, on the far end of this hall, two figures approach and stand at either end of where you need to be. The first people you've seen yet. At least an hour. And the voice continues. You come to find me. Yeah.
Via telepathic bond. Well, I guess secrecy's out now.
Sudis, can you tell me about the magical effect again, Ian?
Well, there's a very specific tell for non-physical and magically projected sounds. The source of the sound is very fickle, and it moves quickly throughout the air as it's projecting. It's not from a fixed point like someone's speaking. So as a result, you can subtly hear the location from where the sound originates. You can hear it change rapidly back and forth, and that's how you know it's magical or a ghost sound or something. That's how you see like through the illusion, so to speak.
And I have detect magic too, so like I assume that wouldn't help narrow it down at all.
You could detect it. It seems to be coming from an arbitrary point.
Okay.
It's above the doorway.
Okay.
But you don't detect anything else magical.
Okay. And I don't, as far as I'm aware at least, we haven't triggered any traps yet.
No.
Okay.
Not that you're aware of.
Okay.
Do you hear that? The voice projects again. You hear off in the distance. It seems to be off in the distance. You know it's far away. So far you wouldn't be able to hear it at all. But it's the sound of Kofar. And screams. Some explosions. Violence and where are their heroes? Huh?
There's only one way to end this.
Hey.
This is assuming that this is not just another ploy to try to lure us out into the open.
That's exactly what it is.
A bluff.
Let's just keep
He
power
doesn't know
moving.
how to tell the truth. We push on. We make the coward face us.
I'm the coward. Huh?
Always have.
You come to me.
Wait, he can hear through the telepathy?
He's here.
He can hear our telepathy conversation?
He's chimed in over
gosh.
something on the telepathy. I want everybody to make a will save. Oh.
Okay. This is gonna suck.
I'll start in success order. Now, I'll start in failure order. Did anybody... Rune, do you hero point it? You have two.
I'm feeling I probably should hero point this. Am I getting the vibe I should hero point this?
Illusion.
About the illusion?
Yeah.
No. No.
Okay.
I'm good.
Rune, you're terrified. This is a telepathic bond. This is about the closest thing to privacy as a thought originated by yourself in an empty dimension. People aren't supposed to enter telepathy. It's not a tangible thing, and it's not something anyone can ever invade. So who is this person? Who is
And
this
that's
person
the
to
question
crash
Rune asks.
and hear you? I'm reckoning. It's all right. I'll get you, wizard. I'm sparing you, truthfully. Better me than your brother. And
I'm going to enjoy this.
it stops from that. The rest of you, you realize quite early on, it was an illusion. It was a trick. What you heard, it chiming in, was to each of you something you fabricated in your own mind. It's designed to make you think it knew. So each of you made up something in your head there for a second, something you think you wouldn't want him to know. And it sounded like collectively you each thought he could crash in here. You break through it, and you realize all that's left is this voice, presumably the Shumerix, chiming in to a hallway. He's not here, of course, but there are still 2 undead guarding the entrance to further below. What do you guys do?
Rune is stopped in his tracks. Stuck in the illusion of sorts.
Yeah. It seems the
Do
wizard's still
we
caught up in
hear
it.
his conversation with himself, or is it just like he is silent?
So I believe at this point, if he's stuck in the illusion, he would be silent.
Yes,
Rune,
I believe that's correct.
what is the matter? Why have you stopped?
Sailix flicks him
I
in.
don't just.
Just goes up.
Rune just sort of recoils at the flicking of his ear. What the fuck was that, Sailix?
He just kind of stares back to the undead at the end of the hall and just kind of shrugs.
Rune,
So-
are you okay?
Figure out the magic involved. I understand how he is able to get in.
What do you
He's a
mean?
gambler
Rune's
with
just sort of staring at the ground. He's clearly trying to work through a problem.
It's a trick, boy.
Rune,
It's an echo.
if he breaks your will now, then he doesn't have to fight you. This is his strategy.
Say something silly. Trust me. Talk about a purple upside down pineapple. And listen to
Remember,
what he
Rune.
says
Silly,
back to you.
I am so much smarter than you.
Silly. Sailix is not an asshole.
Hey, that'll do. That'll do.
Meanwhile, Sailix is approaching the undead gardens.
Yeah, well, that conversation telepathic.
Vesperin's
Yeah.
laughter, well, like, Vesperin's side of it is entirely telepathic because I imagine she's somewhere else from the group.
also, she's still probably laughing at that.
Have you tried to sneak past these guards, Vesprin?
Well, so first of all, you know, she would talk to the group and be like, so, regardless of what we do here, two obstacles in our way. I can try to sneak past them while the rest of you, or perhaps me and Poppy, can sneak past them while the rest of you destroy them. Because I do not think we will get that lucky for all of us to see.
I think that could be fun, actually. Do you want me to just hit it?
Very good care of your sister, Room.
I'd really like to just hit something at this point in time.
Why
I'm
would
still
we
kind
just
of in the
sneak
back.
past them? We could stay and help.
Is there still a war outside?
It won't be too long until Sailix is within eyeshot of these things.
Oh, shit.
Speak to him, then.
I suppose I
Is he
better
leaving
go
the
watch his
sphere
back.
Oh, the sphere is long since gone.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, this is just a hallway.
Yeah. We've been traveling
I'll
for a
start
few
walking
hours.
after Sailix. Well, if he's going to get to hit something, then I definitely want to hit something. It's not fair for him to have all the fun.
I will try to find the Shumerix.
You cannot go alone. She'll glance back quickly at Rune.
Fuck you.
Will you be okay?
Remember what I said, Poppy.
Okay. It's a promise.
Be careful.
Poppy will go with Vespa.
So what?
You would... Poppy would feel something slipped into her pocket. Because I don't know, is my, like... I don't know, how long does my cloak's invisibility last? Like... You never really...
Oh, it's expired.
Okay,
yeah.
okay. Then never mind.
Even an hour. Yeah.
Okay. Alright. So... Let's see. That's rough then, because I only have one vial left.
Like you want to take the one on the left
Rune
and
will
the one on
pass
the right.
the
I'll get the one on the
dust
right and you get the one on the
to
left.
Poppy. Rune will pass the dust to Poppy.
Okay.
Perfect.
I really want to see like a Sailix Waldorff buddy cop moment where we like walk up like arguing amongst each other, like just between the two of us. Like, wait, no, I want the one on the left, and you want. Come on, man.
Well, I imagine Poppy and Vespa will just have to sneak past, and then you both have invisibility. The cloak is worn off.
Yes.
All right.
Because I had one vial left, and then I gave one to Rune, who just gave his to Poppy.
I'll need a will save from both of you as you pass these things. They radiate that frightful presence. Again.
Okay.
Vespa, you're fine.
Okay.
Can you make your way through?
Poppy's like, psh, bitches. I don't fear nothing.
Nothing. And Waldorff and Sailix, you have 40 feet of banter before you reach these things. They have noticed you. But go ahead.
Should have taken a left turn at Albuquerque.
Sailix will just kind of look down, move his mask just a little bit to where like his eyes come through, and just kind of like leveling a glare at him before putting it back into place. Once the mask reaches fully in place, though, Salix's halo will ignite, bathing everybody within a 30-foot area around him in divine light, which is innately good energy that is radiating off of him.
I would take that as a sign and just launch at whichever one is in front of me. Just shield up, hammer out, and just go full Tasmanian devil on him.
Excellent. And as you do that, I will say, Vespa and Poppy, you realize you're closer to a bit of a break than you thought. You thought you were expecting the pattern to continue. Tunnel cave, tunnel cave, tunnel cave. Suddenly it was clear. Stairs lead down to a small pool of magma, bubbling up. You can hear strange whispers off in the distance. They don't sound very different from that illusion. Something strange is happening here.
Perception.
Yeah, well, do you have detect magic?
I do.
Is it 60 feet or 30 feet?
It does not say. I don't have my book. I'm sorry.
I believe detect magic
fine.
is 30 feet, but I can double check.
Right. Something feels
30 foot.
something feels off. You hear now voices in Dwarven. You speak Dwarven?
Yes.
All right.
No.
Two dwarves, they're talking about the Shumeriks. You don't know what about or why. Strategy, sending soldiers up, collecting the attack on Kovlar. Nothing incriminating, nothing too interesting, but they work for him.
Yeah, so she'd quietly whisper to Poppy that there's something off about where we are. Soldiers whispering about Vishumeriks, but it might be another trick.
Should we try and capture one of them?
Between pools of lava. While you're on the elevated side of this small opening, there's a bridge above this magma as it runs down along away from this cave. But before you have a chance to do anything subtle, it seems a loud crash as Sir Skysteel charges headfirst into the guards that are not even 20 feet away from you. That's enough to catch the attention of these creatures, these fire-bearded, chain-wielding workers, warriors. You don't know, builders, perhaps. I'm going to call initiative, but they haven't detected you yet.
Through the telepathy, Vespa would say, 2 more incoming.
Sweet.
Starting from the top, with preparation, Waldorff, you knew when you had about 10 strides left, they saw you coming. Both of them hold burning blades, crafted the way that you saw up above. But they prepared for you to arrive. So they don't waste time in getting their attacks in. Is a hit. 30 points of damage.
Okay, never mind. I was going to cast Shield as a reaction.
Sure, yeah, absolutely. Does that increase your AC?
Should give him a +2.
Yes, but it only gives me a +1 to my AC, so it wouldn't actually do anything.
Right.
Never mind. Never mind. I'll just take the hit. Because my AC would only go up to 37, so it would still hit anyway.
The next one strikes you. 38 is a hit.
That one too.
Individually, they each both have another attack on you. Double strikes.
That one misses.
The third one missed. The final flourish before you have a chance to react. 36 is a hit as well.
That one I'll cast Shield on.
Mitigated on that one then. Immediately, you're being cut open. They found openings in your armor, suddenly blood from slashing damage, fire damage, and negative damage. Is testing your resolve here pretty quick. Sailix, you are next on initiative. In round 1, it will take you 2 move actions to get within range where you are now.
All right. So within that, Seth will all right, so Seth is going to cast Holy Cascade, which is a reflex save, DC 31.
DC 31 on a reflex save. All right, on which one?
It is a fight first.
Oh, all right, 2 reflex saves. Battle has begun. Poppy and Vespa, you're just about hearing all of this real time as it's happening. They both failed their saves by 1. What do they take?
So they both are taking 3d6 bludgeoning, 6d6 good, 66 bludgeoning.
All right. Okay, what else do you do? Those will be your 3 actions?
Yeah, well, he has the boot of cooking, so, but, he'll prepare to defend himself next.
Excellent. Skysteel,
Yeah.
it's your turn.
So I'm going to use 2 of my actions to cast Disrupt Undead
Okay.
at I would pick one, I guess the one on the left, and leave one to Sailix. It's only
All
fair.
right.
I want to be egalitarian about the things.
Yeah.
And so that is, where did it go? Disrupt Undead. How do I cast that? Oh, here we go. Ding.
All right. So is that a save that they're making?
1d6 positive. Fortitude saving throw. 1d6 positive damage plus my spellcasting ability modifier.
I believe they both made the save.
It is only one target. One undead creature. And then I'm hit him with my hammer.
All right. They're taking half, and it's leveled. It's to half your level, so it's actually 7 plus your modifier. Which got 22. Take half. It is 11, and then you can hit with the hammer. Go ahead.
And I don't actually have my new hammer in my character sheet, by the way. It is 3d8 weapon damage plus 1d6 fire damage. And where's my attack? Oh, where did it go? Would you be able to roll that for me? I don't think that I've got...
Yes. You got your weapon attack.
Yeah.
This is with a +2 additional added. It does not hit. And you have 1 action left. Is that correct?
I believe the Disrupt Undead takes 2 actions. That's what the little
Got it.
arrows
Okay.
next to casting says, right?
Right. Yep.
Yeah. So that's it. This did not go the way that I wanted it to.
Yeah.
Waldorff is like laughing kind of maniacally at this, though. Like he seems to have lost his mind a bit in the heat.
One of these undead. Actually, it's not their turn yet. The Vesperin. You hear above a fight break out. You have a chance to do something here.
Alright.
You
How
bastard.
brutal do these guys look? Okay. Alright. Let me think. She's going to take a step down, I guess, and hug the wall. And spend her actions marking one of them for death.
All right. Yeah, because that'll be all 3 of your actions.
Yeah.
So rather than move, you'd have to, or I think you get free, right?
Oh, yeah, I get a step. Yeah.
A step as 1 action or step as 0? Because mark for death is 3 actions.
Yeah, it should
So you'd
be
have 2
0
actions.
because I'm a rogue. Like I should
Okay.
get a yeah.
And then next on initiative, Pop. What do you do as they're looking up and towards you?
Golly. So she'll just pull out her bow.
You will break invisibility though. If
Oh,
you
we
attack.
are still invisible. Okay.
We
I
are
thought they
still
looked at
invisible.
us.
At least as far as we're aware.
But would pulling out her bow break invisibility if she doesn't fire
No.
yet?
No, only if you actually attack. So you could hold an action.
Yeah, so Poppy's gonna move to the opposite wall, and ready an action that if they begin to move forward, she'll fire.
All right. Rune, you are 2 actions behind in the tunnel. You know roughly what's happening with all of the players involved. So what do you do?
Can you see the 2 targets that Sailix and Dorf are up against?
Yes.
Are they 120 feet away or less?
Less. About 70 feet away.
Perfect. The one that cut into Dorf is getting spell. There's no save on this one. It's just an attack roll on my part. So the rune sort of grabs at a staff and angles it towards, as if throwing something. The air around the top of Rune's staff begins to, the heat just is pulled out of the air as there's frost and droplets of snow that sort of come to the ground as a ray of frost arcs out of the top of the staff directly towards the target. I do need to be able to target the creature. Oh, there it is.
They're on the combat tracker now. Right up on the top.
Yeah. Could I be put on the map so I can target something?
Yes, you may. Have a room.
All right, so we're going to do...
The attack itself is a miss, but it was put on as a multi-attack penalty at a -10.
Oh, that's good.
I don't know why, but without it...
I don't either.
35 is a hit.
Okay. That's weird.
Yeah. Excellent.
17 frost damage. Or cold damage.
Perfect. It certainly hits different with this thing. You see that pot sand sort of falling off and chipping away into icicles. And it lets out a scream. It's been trading blows with Waldorff for quite some time. They're engaged in battle here, but both of them have a lot of blood to give before either of them falls. I think you have at least an action, right?
Yeah, he will he will let go of his staff as it acts as a shield. Or I'm sorry, no. I will track that. I will move up 35 feet.
35 feet. You have 35 feet yet to clear.
That's fine.
And we move from 27 initiative to 26. And with it, you see up ahead something open up in the hallway beside Sailix. By his face, just a circle, maybe the size of his hand. The voice. Soul, that of a woman. Let's talk, he says.
Oh, fuck off.
It does start to open up, but we'll respond in turn, because for now, these undead dwarfs, they move up. They scramble up the stairs. You're both still invisible. And they're not looking for you. They're looking for the cause of this disruption. So they'll clear straight past you unless, Poppy, do you take that? You have one opportunity to make an attack for the ready action. And it's as he approaches the stairs, but before he's too close where a shot wouldn't be effective. So right about here, he's scrambling up effectively attack Waldorff, you imagine. Do you use it as your opportunity to attack, or do you let him make his way up the stairs?
No, she'll attack. She doesn't think
All
she can
right.
handle all four, so.
Yeah, let's make that
So-
attack roll.
When
What is
she makes
telepathy?
that attack, like there's just swearing and sea elf. Like it's not even in common anymore. It's just like a series of like angry sounding songs and clicks in your heads.
I'll take yours. It's fine. And it's good because it's a critical hit.
Oh.
Oh, perfect. So she is doing good damage. Hold on.
All right. An explosion. This blows this dwarf's arm up. He was dragging a massive warhammer up the stairs, and this thing just shatters at the shoulder and then rolls into the pool of magma before him. He lets out a scream. Your illusion dissolves. But this was on his turn as you made the reaction, and he has 2 turns left. So with the first is stride. And the second, he opens his mouth and lets out a scream of fire. I think I need you to make a reflex save.
It will do.
You succeed critically. As you roll out of the way, it burns onto everything nearby. I will give you a chance to move because that square is erupted in flame, but it's sort of also starting to crumble in. It's giving you a small patch of safe ground here. You're sort of flanked now by magma and danger. That's all of its turns,
Danger.
though, and the other one has already moved up all 3 times to guard the flank of these swordsmen. And the battle continues. Up to the top, the Blade Master, the one most injured, makes another attempt, an attack with 2 actions. It uses Lair of Rage on Waldorff, but Waldorff, you critically succeeded against Rightful Presence. So he looks in the eye. He's ready to scare you to death. Maybe with the hopes of bringing you back, but it has no effect. How do you react? You're muted. He still has an action left. So, but you can say something
I would
to him
laugh
if
in
you
his
would.
face. Just like hysterics. You know, he's battle mad at this point in time.
Yeah. 38 is a hit, though. If you're battle mad, you're getting what you want here. 25 points of damage. That's all the actions he has, though.
Ouch.
The other one, it's not the case. You know Sailix is guarding your flank. You actually have been trading several dozen blows by now, fighting in this corridor. You're all quite resilient, but now the second one makes a swing at you. The first, a miss. It has 2 more to deliver here.
Miss.
34 is a hit. Sailix, you know
34
Waldorff
is a miss
bad.
if I have my shield up.
Your shield. Oh, and
Brings
that
up
you
to
do.
36.
I don't know. Yeah, because the shield raised. Yeah, it's a miss. And then for the third attack, third and final, a miss again. Salix.
Literally pings
It's
off
your
of the
turn.
shield itself.
Salix, there is a portal opening beside you. You were told not to step in. It's Hysteria on the other, not that strikes.
Oh, Fuck
Which you want
off.
to talk. Rune's approaching from behind. You imagine he would do whatever it takes to stop you, because the 27-year-old punk went so far as to hit you with his staff. So you have a chance here, but you know you've been helping Waldorff. And in addition, there's more reinforcements coming. You have a responsibility here.
Ripping Leviathan, the blood that was still dripping from his hand from his earlier attack.
Yeah.
He just kind of flicks it out the portal ladder. He's like, come back later, I'm busy.
It's on her face. It's covered in spikes, and when she rubs it, you notice it is a little bit of blood that you got on her face, but it's covered in an inky black fluid. As she stares back at you, portal doesn't shut. You have 3 actions. What do you do?
Sailix will use his extra move action to move up next to the door. And then he will swing with both hands Leviathan at...
You completely ignored it.
Yes.
And you landed an awesome blow. Well, the portal closes, and you get a hero point. That is a hit. You can roll damage. And you have an action left. Waldorff, you're next in initiative.
So I should have 2 actions left, because the move action, I have an extra move action from the boot.
Oh, excellent. Yes, you do. 41 points of damage. It's a hit as well.
So, okay. Yeah, so Sis just kind of steps forward past the portal and 3 quick successive blows that makes it probably look like he's dancing next to Waldorff. Slices the Blade Master up.
Wow. Okay. Both of them. I mean, the blows have been traded evenly because you take an opportunity when it arises. You can't really pick people off. You have to cover yourself. They're both evenly hurt. You two have been going wide. But Waldorff, you've seen this happen now. You haven't had a lot of war experience, but you know the tide can turn quite quickly. You're one misplaced blow away from dying, if it gets to it. However, you can almost say the same for them. So what do you do?
I think I'm going to go ahead and use all 3 actions to cast Heal, which targets all living and undead creatures in the burst of 30 feet.
Smart.
Which I'm not real sure how to make that happen. Oop.
Yeah.
That's what, 7d8?
And that would be... Yeah,
and they
that would be a...
Gets a basic fortitude save.
Got it. For the undead.
Yes.
All right.
Ooh.
I have a success, a non-critical success, and at least a failure. I think it's a success and a failure.
So
How
half
many
damage
D8?
and full damage.
7d8.
Full damage. Make sure that's the right size die. And half damage.
I'm going the wrong way, man.
There. Now, does that heal your friends?
Yes.
All right. Philip Wood, Sailix happens to be unscathed.
Sorry, not to interrupt. Sailix the Halo is still penetrating light with divine light, so they are under a good aura right now.
Excellent. And then that one is taking half damage as well. All right. Vespa.
So I guess the question is the one attacking Poppy the one I marked for death or not?
It wasn't.
It was not.
No.
Ah, damn it. Alright, well that's inconvenient then. Okay, again, I just feel like there's a great deal more swearing in Seal over the telepathy.
You should tell Rune that his little sister might be a chip at the
I
old block.
mean, I imagine in between, like, the very angry series, like there would just be the word puppy. But anyway, so yeah, she'd take a step and stab this motherfucker in the back.
Excellent.
Great. Ugh. What? That's critical?
32?
Look, don't question it.
How did you know it? This thing. It's not a warrior. It's not a fighter. This might be where you realize how far you've got, because by all accounts, this person seems to be formidable. But you have no issue. It is a critical hit. Go ahead and roll your damage. And you are flanking, but you're also invisible, so one way or another, you've got everything that you need.
Yup. Does it?
Yeah.
Oh wait, hang
Go
on a
on.
sec. I do not have critical damage for Belgora. I would need you to. So do I just roll twice?
No, so here, I'll roll it. So if you scored a critical hit, the damage is automatically critical
Oh, okay. Cool.
when you throw it on. Yeah.
Okay. Then yeah.
I'll just play it twice.
Cool.
It's fine.
Okay. Yeah, because it's like not playing that. That's weird. And then does it get bleed damage? Also, I think I get more sneak attack dice if it's critical, right? Or no? Does it double sneaks?
I don't think it's multiplied on a critical. I don't think it's sneak dice is. But it does get bleed.
Okay. But I get the critical bleed, right?
Yep.
Okay. Do you want me to roll that now? This is sneak attacks. So that's sneak attack. Bleed. Sweet. 24. 35, 41. Does that kill it?
41. It doesn't. Still standing. It's wounded though.
I'm gonna stab it again.
27's a hit. Roll damage.
And I'm
Damn, I
still,
got destroyed.
because of roguey bullshit, I still get sneak attacks. Is it dead?
It's dead.
Okay.
You have eviscerated
so,
the thing before Poppy's
so-
eyes.
Basically, what I imagine happened is like Vespa just appears from nowhere and like shunks Balgora into the back of the thing's neck, severing its spinal cord. And then as it's still like sort of wobbling around, she gives it a second tap and its head flies clean off.
Mm.
Poppy's just like
You have an action.
wide-eyed.
What do you do?
Can I throw Balgora at the one I had marked?
No, you can't see them from there.
Okay. Then I would like to try to make a stealth check. Or like go stealthy. To like move, I don't know, here or something. Or is the door closed and that's why we can't see?
No, it's just a rather narrow doorway. You still can't really see from there, but yeah, you can see from there.
Okay. And then do you want me to roll stealth or is assurance fine?
You can you can roll stealth. Just in case. And Poppy. It's your turn.
Gross.
What do you do?
I feel like Poppy would like take a moment after like having this thing beheaded right in front of her to just like
Yeah.
If it makes you feel any better, she would just kind of give an apologetic shrug before sneaking back away.
yeah, Poppy's not used to fighting and doing this kind of stuff, so she'll just like stand there for a moment and just like take this pocket watch out again and just like place it up to her ear, like listening to the ticking for a moment before going back up, and following Vespa.
1, 2. Do you follow Vespa's lead though? She's sneaking.
I feel like at this point she wouldn't. I think she's just like walking back up.
Right.
Kind of forgotten about. Let's see.
Yeah. That's reasonable. You see something. No, make a perception check for me. You thought you saw something. Truly.
Let's see here.
Did you manage to get a glimpse?
Nope.
Of what's beyond? Yeah, the corner of your eye, something moved. But it's far away, and that's not really the pressing matter. What's happening is this choke point is proving dangerous. But as you make your way back up, you have an action. Once you've made line of sight here, you would have to wobble up to here, at least.
Right in front of Vespa.
You see 2 of the 3 creatures.
Well, I don't think
They're
she
not
sees
looking at
Vespa. Vespa's sneaking.
They don't. Yeah, no. That's what got covered, right? But you don't. They're not looking in this direction. They don't expect anything. And they're moving in combat.
Let's see here. Is she able to get a shot off on the one in the back?
Yeah. Make that roll. That's a critical hit.
Damage.
It's wounded heavily.
Okay.
From
This arrow just comes out of nowhere in the back of its like shoulder.
Yeah. It's a cluster over there. Truly. But it looks like your friends are winning. You don't see Rune though. I think Rune's preoccupied. But Rune, it's your turn. It's an action to get to where Sailix was. And the portal hasn't quite
I had a
closed
question
yet.
for you.
Yeah.
Take a look at it and give me an answer.
Interesting.
Yes or no?
I want you to make a check for it. It's a pretty safe one, but I implore you.
All right. Spell check?
Yeah.
All right. That one's just for you, my friend.
Rune. I told you there was one value I didn't want to see. It would be in that one. Oh! There's a pull. Sir Ravenswood. There is a pull. But it's bi-directional and it catches you through it. Describe what you do telekinetically before you're yanked into the portal.
I presume my the hero points are expended and cannot be used for this instance. Is that correct?
They are expended for use of.
That's fair. Yep, I get it. So Rune, seeing the portal and hearing the voice, he doesn't walk or really run over to where the portal is. His body takes on this bisected form where, again, half of him is just charred and on fire and covered in ice, and he floats very quickly where the portal is as he gathers all of the arcane power and knowledge and magic that he has within him, from primal to divine to occult, reaching in from the depths. And his hands and his staff reach out to the portal, and for a brief moment, the briefest apparently, Hysteria can feel herself getting pulled out of the portal before the pull of the shadow plane is too much for Rune, apparently.
You're pulled through to watch it close before you. It's Hysteria. Just stares at you. You're in Zobai, Kane. You've been here. You know it's Zom, Luthon's.
Well. You're not the
Agreed.
one I wish to
Well.
capture. But I suppose you will be so much better for what I have planned.
Oh, you think you've captured me? How quaint.
Haven't I though?
Oh, you only wish.
I suppose time will tell. One of us will be right and the other regretting everything. It will be very exciting, don't you agree?
I won't regret killing you, I promise. Furthermore, I won't regret keeping you from ever seeing your god ever again.
Ooh. You make such a delightful playmate, wizard. I can't wait
There's nothing
to
playful about
see
this.
all the amazing ways I can take you apart and put you back together again.
Oh, don't worry. I have such wonderful sights to show you as well.
Oh, how you flirt. Promises, promises.
Now, you two, Rune, you're 27 on initiative.
Yeah.
I will tell you, Hysteria is next, relative to you on initiative. If you wish, you two can do what I guess I'm going to call a standoff. You don't have to initiate initiative order, but you can delay it, you can prolong it. And if you want, you can use a different skill check for your initiative. Once a trigger is in the you're waiting for something. If you want, you can talk. If not, we can resume initiative. That's normal.
If we
because
are
you do
going
have
into
to react.
combat, if
I
we
got
are
it.
going into combat, you do the sheet. Yeah, I don't want to.
I've got a plan. So Rune, you have 3 actions. You can gracefully on violence, or you can show us these wonderful sights. What do you do?
He's going to continue to socially stall the situation.
All right. And then on the turn of Hysteria, I guess imagine you just want to speak. The cards are sort of in your hand, yeah?
Yeah, probably. I mean, you know, at least from her perspective, she has a fun new toy to play with. Why rush?
Yeah. Do me a favor real quick as this happened. For Vesperin, make a perception check.
Okay. I am fucking Legolas!
Fantastic. You managed to see what happened. Here. Rune moved into a portal. He was sucked in, and it closed. You're not out of the woods as far as this combat goes, and you're not in initiative order, so continue with Hysteria, if you will.
Oh god. Make it as easy. That's fine. Alright. Yeah, so, let's see. I feel like, she probably has one of those, balls, that Rune had possessed earlier, with the little, like, spikes and flails and stuff attached to it that she kind of just sort of caresses gently like a pet as she like watches the wizard. You know, I had been enjoying so much severing all of his ties to humanity. You cannot imagine the great pleasure that I have felt just watching his descent into this darkness. It is glorious. And if I destroy you, it will be so complete.
Or maybe I
such
should make you my
fanciful
new pet.
stories. Imagination is truly breathtaking.
We'll turn to you because the world continues on as this conversation happens. It's pleasant. Vesper or Hysteria, do you lead him further down? I'm not sure you really showed him this realm. He wouldn't know it.
Yeah. I mean, again,
All right, and he's not talking.
we are polite.
Yeah, and these are sites he hasn't seen.
Yeah.
Cautiously, he might just follow you. Returning up, the battle is nowhere near finished. The Blade Master is set on killing Waldorff.
Oh, that makes it
The first
useful.
strike. First strike is a hit. Sailix, I believe you have a reaction to intervene here.
He does.
Yeah, because you know the tides are starting to turn for your friend.
Sailix, can you will use Guardian Reflection and turn that hit into a miss? As a free form, like floating piece of crystal kind of deflects the blade ever so slightly to where it becomes off its original path.
Excellent. He instead exchanges it and strikes at you, Sailix, for a miss, and then for a final blow, letting out a scream. The undead lunges at you. For a critical, it's a miss.
Sailix?
Yeah, 47.
I mean, I guess it is.
49 points of damage, but you saved your friend here, maybe. Second one doesn't let up on Waldorff, though. A strike. Followed again with a hit.
Ouch.
And the third one yet. A miss as well. The fight rages on, but perhaps not for too long, because Sailix, it's your turn.
First and foremost, did Sailix feel room leave?
Yes.
Oh no. So if Vesper will probably notice that at the absence of root, Sailix's body like shifts into like that crazed stance. And then we'll kind of raise his hand one more time and utilize Holy Cascade one more time. So, okay. DC save from reflex DC save from all three of them.
It's the DC of the save.
DC 31.
31. The swordsman fails, and the forged spurn behind him critically fails. Dies immediately, but the two in the front are still standing, so roll the damage for it.
It won't let me roll that. It just lets me, it's a self marker for the 66.
All right.
I can just critical the bludgeoning damage. It's technically good as it.
I'll crunch for the first one, but I think the second one is so low that it puts him to 0. You've killed the two on the bottom. Describe how you do it.
So in a like scream of Rune's name, like he kind of like raises Leviathan up in a upswing arc, and then as he like juts his crystalline gauntlet hand out, like blood will like erupt from the palm of his hand in a shower, but as it comes out, it glows brightly. Rush forward, hitting them and burning their skin as it comes up.
One stands. Waldorff. Been trading blows.
Yeah,
go ahead.
and kind of from this chaos that has erupted over Waldorf's right shoulder, he realizes kind of what's happened, and I'm going to use Divine Lance against the one in front of me. Ugh.
Oh,
Jesus, I cannot hit anything. That would be... Yeah, it's just on a hit. The target takes damage of the chosen alignment type, but I'm going to guess that that does not hit. Can I hero point that and roll again?
Yeah, you can.
I'm going to roll again. Damn it! What the hell?
look, man, just swing the hammer.
I'll just swing my hammer. Can you roll that for me, Ian? I think that's a plus 23.
Yes. With final action.
With the, yeah, my final action with my Warhammer. Jesus Christ.
All right. It comes out as
I
an
have not
actual...
rolled above a 10 on any of my actual attacks yet.
Well, you got
There we
a
go.
critical hit.
That'll do.
You got a critical hit on Greater Flaming, Great Extreme. 1, 2,
3d8
3.
weapon damage plus 1d6 fire, and he's prone plus 2d10 persistent fire damage.
How many d6 fire?
1d6.
Double on a critical hit. 36, 42 points of damage. He's dead. Describe what you
2d10
do.
persistent fire damage. He's just like flaming on on the ground. I assume that the Divine Lance just kind of goes wide because I'm shocked by what happens with Sailix, and then kind of without even really looking, come back around with the Warhammer, and he thinks that I'm not looking, and it just connects solidly with the side of its head and basically splatters him against the wall next to me. Like I swing all the way through his head and make contact with the wall.
Suddenly, the fight's over.
That didn't go the way that I thought it was going to.
As the fight stops, Sailix like runs over to the wall where the portal was, and he
What the hell was that?
It's just like screaming over and over again. No.
So while Sailix is doing that, like Vesper takes Poppy by the hands and is just like, okay, I'm going to tell you something very bad, and I need you to be as calm as you can, because we're going to figure this out. But we can't do anything stupid right now, okay?
Vespa, what is
Anything
it?
else stupid?
Rune got, he sort of got sucked through a weird portal to a shadow dimension, and, yeah. But we'll figure it out. We will figure it out.
So Poppy will like let go of Vespa's hands and walk back over to that hallway to see if Rune is gone.
Vespa follows her, just very concerned.
Meanwhile, she finds Sailix trying to punch a hole in the wall.
And Waldorf's sitting in the middle of the floor, just like dripping in blood.
Yeah, she just is like looking around wildly for a moment. Again, like pulls out that watch and holds it to her ear. She has to listen to the ticking sound to make sure that she's in the right place. Plane of Shadows.
Is she talking to Sailix?
She just says it out loud.
Where did the portal come from?
She like looks at Sailix directly, like, you know, not quite accusatorially, but like, did you do this?
Sailix is he stops for a moment and he pulls that gem out that Waldorff had gifted him. And he starts looking through it again, like trying to find like a viewpoint of some sort.
Well, wait a second. Did Rune give it back to him?
Oh, right, he doesn't have it.
Yeah, you search and you can't
All right. Well,
find it.
Plan B.
Sorry.
Sailix, where is my brother?
He rips his mask off. He's got like tears streaming down his face. He's like, I'm trying to find out. Sailix like throws the mask on the ground, and while stepping on it, he picks a shard of glass up and he cuts himself on the back of the hand. And he's just kind of over the pool of blood that's forming on the ground. He starts to murmur in Celestial. Not to his grandfather, but to his grandmother. Can't. This is in Celestial.
Yeah.
Can't let them. They took too much already. The wizard is mine. Take me. Take whatever you want. This is an open call. Get me to the shadow plane.
It might not be enough. A booming voice from further in the cavern calls out.
Dorf is on his feet.
You're here for the crown? The voice has changed. Could be a human. Breaks. There's almost a sting of familiarity to it. I mean, if it is, it isn't anything obvious to be certain. You can make a perception check, but it just broke. It was an accent. It'd be dwarven, but it doesn't sound dwarven. Certainly humanoid it does, but not dwarven. You have business with me. Come along. We have things to discuss.
Sailix is whispering to the pool of blood now.
Yeah, Sailix, you realize, this pool of blood, it's your blood after all. You've refused and rejected this shadow magic you've received recently, late in life, honestly. You recognize it's not your blood, it's your magic. They're different, so in rejecting it, you haven't changed your blood. It's still now this inky black. And there's still a reflection in it once it finally settles. But it's small, it wasn't a big cut. If you look in, you see something. Zestrix on the other side.
Sailix calls out for him, like ignoring the other voice or anything. Telling him again to bring him there.
Are you sure?
Yes. 100%. Without even hesitation. Like, says yes.
Why?
Because I will not lose him.
No.
Rune.
Rune isn't here. Zovaikane. Is he? This is Sagrak. Father, you run out of time. Snake mess. You should be there with family. I wish I were.
Sailix screams really loud.
Yeah, the room shakes a bit. Waldorff, were you headed down towards the Shumerix?
Yes, cautiously. I think I definitely would have stopped before going down that second set of stairs there.
Yeah.
I would not have gone that much further away from everyone else, but I definitely would have moved into that room. Very cautiously, but kind of in a daze.
Yeah, and you stop when Sailix lets out this scream. But nobody comes to investigate. This place seems empty. You've killed guards, after all. But you remember what happened in the forge. You see some of that unsettled magma tossing and turning, a couple of waves, a little riptide action. What do you do?
Back up and kind of warn the others that it looks like there's something in the lava. I think we might have a friend. Well, not friend, but someone we've met before. We might have trouble.
Vesperin would approach Sailix very cautiously. But I'm sorry, Sam, if I was cutting you off. Go ahead.
Oh no, it's fine. Go ahead.
Oh no! You go ahead, because that's continuing that scene.
Poppy doesn't know what to do, but she knows that Dwarf is still here. So she'll just lay a hand on him and cast Lay of Hands to heal him.
Oh, thank God.
That is a great idea. I guess we all
I'm
have
at
a moment.
70 out of 173.
Yeah, fantastic idea. We're at 112 now.
So yeah, after the scream from Sailix dies down, Vesperin would very quietly walk over to him. Is he sitting or standing or?
He's kneeling over a small pool of black blood.
So she would, very quietly kneel down in front of him, opposite the little pool of blood. And assuming his hand is still open and bleeding, she would sort of gently, curl, either his fingers back or like put a cloth or something on it to staunch some of the bleeding. We can do nothing if we stay here. We have to keep going forward. He is lost, but he is not gone.
Sailor still just nods. He'll grip Leviathan's hilt and stand up. As he does, he'll kind of peer down to the black pool of blood, and still in Celestial, he'll tell Zestrix, "You tell everyone there that he is off limits." And as he steps, he'll kind of splash the pool of blood into dissipate with his foot as he walks out towards the other two.
Let's cut to a dark, cold place. Rune, you've been led by Hysteria down many corridors, giving you a tour of this place. For a while, it was fine. And for another while still, it's been nothing but exploring many chambers of twisted fantasies and foul sights to see, ones that you couldn't even imagine as you continue along this cold, dark prison of a gallery. But go ahead, you two.
All the while, Rune is clearly feigning some stoicism as he sees some of these things.
Honestly, Wizard, you should be thanking me. You'll be able to experience such things that no mere human would be capable of on the material realm. It's really quite an honor.
You do love to experience these things, don't you?
Doesn't everybody? Is that not the point of existence? To seek enlightenment through all manner of experience. To transcend the limits of what is possible. You delve in the arcane. Imagine you flirt with the impossible all the time. You see limits. You look through them. You defy them and break them. Why is this any different? There is so much more power here than you could possibly imagine if you would just open yourself to the experience of it. Is that not worth it? Can you not feel it tickling the temptation, the edges of your senses? Don't deny it. I know the truth.
I have seen depths of the great beyond through the mind of a creature you may have heard of, but only conceive of. I have seen the darkness, stared it straight in the face, and I have willed it out of being. You. What was your name again? I'm sorry, I've forgotten. You can teach me nothing. You are nothing but an infinitesimal speck in the span of existence. Your experiences, your desires, your love for sensation and the sights and sounds of screaming and pain. I want to show you something, whoever you are. Actually, let me demonstrate what I can do. As he just gets close to her, and a dagger sort of forms into his hand, and he just sort of races along her collarbone. And for the briefest of moments, she feels the blade sort of cut in, and then nothing. No pain, no pleasure, just nothing. As he turns the dagger and begins to sort of pierce it in, there's no blood. He feels nothing. You see, here, in this place, you experience nothing. You cannot call to your God. You cannot feel him here. This is mine. You'll feel no joy, as whatever joy she might feel is gone.
Yeah,
You'll feel
Stereo,
no
you
sadness.
realize that feeling you felt in your veins, you were leading him along this place, showing him a place he hasn't seen, a place in a way that only you knew. As the warden of this section, of this corner of this realm, that feeling in your bones, it wasn't a poison, it wasn't anything subtle. It was something like forgetfulness or drowsiness or an illusion of sorts. It felt dreamlike. And you realize now you were confused there for a second because you opened a door to reveal the next of an array of just mad cruelty, and it took a second to materialize. The room seemed empty for just a fraction of a second until you remembered what was behind the door. You created it, but it wasn't there until you looked. You realize you're in a dream. Go ahead.
You are here, and you are my captor, you infinitesimal bitch. And I will tell you this. If you ever consider touching me, any of my friends, I will find you here again, and I will ensure you never wake up. I will ensure you never feel anything, and you will never hear the screams of your God again. Now, whoever you are, because I don't give a shit, go home.
Rune is a badass.
And the dream dissolves. You both wake up in different places. Across the plains, maybe you'll never know where you both ended up. But suddenly, as you look back in the hall, Rune comes to, right where the portal used to be. Whatever that was. So, wherever Hysteria is, you simply don't know. Go ahead.
Where is Rune right now?
You've awoken. You've awoken in the hallway near the portal you've entered during the battle.
Oh, okay. All right. Back where I was, basically.
Yes. Nobody heard the reoccurrence. Nobody heard the portal. Something strange was happening here. Likely some illusion magic was involved. A mastermind plot to convince Hysteria that anyone had walked into her trap. But it wasn't the case, was it? And I don't think anyone can understand the cleverness of what just happened. But you might see a stone in Rune's hand as he awakened.
Rune will pocket the stone back where he'd kept it.
Yeah.
And ask Corvus, reconnecting with Corvus, where is everyone? I'm assuming Corvus will tell him as he will attempt to go catch up as quickly as possible.
Yeah. Go ahead. I imagine Sailix has a question.
So, I will be completely honest, for reasons for RP, I was not paying attention as to where you all ended up.
Yeah, they're down the hall, sort of in the building.
But that's fair. Rune will, as not shout, he will not be shouting, but he will simply say, hello, where'd everyone go? And he will call out in
nice of you to join us.
Still connected.
Oh shit.
Thought we'd lost you.
You're a bit
Hearing
late,
Rune's
is it?
voice. Poppy's just gonna sprint back.
We hadn't gone far. We're literally in the next room. I think that Waldorff would have tried to convince everybody to stay put and kind of patch up for a second because he's still not feeling too well. Since we've got
Yeah,
this
so-
moment
Rune
of
will
quiet, we
rush
should
to-
probably rest for a moment.
Yeah, Rune will rush to catch up. I'm presuming running into Poppy. I'm not sure if Sailix was joining or not, but at least Poppy in
Or just
in
smack.
transit.
Pretty much. Yeah, she'll like throw herself at Rune.
Sailix is
A
in
slightly
the
unexpected
doorway.
Rune will probably just fall. Go ahead, Go ahead, Dan. Sorry.
Sailix is in the doorway, and very pointed, like his back is turned, like he's not turning to like face Rune. But he's there. He's not like walking away or anything. He's just watching Poppy ran by.
Rune will not expecting the tackle fall from it. Was I gone long?
You were gone.
That's too
It
long.
was an unexpected turn of events. I was not anticipating the Shadow Realm to be as difficult to pull someone from.
Why were you trying to pull someone from the Shadow Realm?
Because it was an opportunity, and for a very good friend of mine, I could not allow it to pass. Suffice it to say, however, I think I've made an indelible mark on our friend Hysteria. He may actually question what the fuck I am, which is highly entertaining. You all right? Did you
Poppy.
get hurt?
I'm fine. Rune, you're such an idiot sometimes.
Well,
I tell him that
I'm sure
often.
Sailix would agree.
The wounds on Sailix start to close up on their own, with a hiss, as he just kind of tilts his head backwards. Yeah, it's all well and good, but mission and all that. As he starts to walk, he'll take one step. He'll turn fully to face Rune. He's like, "We'll talk about that later."
Waldorff has been keeping an eye on the platform below and advocating that you lot rest up. But the voice doesn't really cease. It
I
continues
would
to
be treating
rumble from.
wounds.
Yeah,
I have lots
you
of
can
flexibility.
come now. If you're ready. Rune, the voice is different. It's sort of the proper human, almost Hell Knight-esque, but not really, not quite, not Chelish.
It's Ronan, isn't it?
It's not. No, it doesn't sound.
Oh God.
It sort of sounds like it in like a punk kind of way, but no, it
Was
just
the other
sort of
bloke
sounds
that?
like every-
Oh, all right.
yeah, I mean, it sounds. It just sounds maybe even created to ease the mind of company.
Interesting. Rune, looking at his friend Dorf, will go over and place a hand on his shoulder.
Thought I'd never see you again.
Oh, I'm a wizard. I'm a little hard to get rid of.
I'll be grateful for that.
A warm feeling goes over Waldorf as he's healed for some.
Oh, well, hi. I can take. Oh, that feels good.
So, I hear someone's luring us in deeper, huh?
Oh, always.
Tends to
There's a
lead to
stirring
low to evaporations.
in a bit of magma
That's half
nearby.
the fun.
And it stirs. There's a bubbling up and waves and a splash here and there. It slowly gets closer. The edge there. What do you guys do?
Wait.
I was actually hoping that you would come back because we might need some help with cold here. I think that we've got a returning friend, someone that we've seen before.
Who would
Coming
that
out
be?
of the lava.
Out,
Anyone fallen into
out of the lava? What was the broken
Man,
floor?
get out of here with that
Half my
bullshit.
shield.
This was definitely going into sneak mode. Cause
It stirs.
I
How
spent
close do you
way
get to
too
the
much
thing?
time getting close to personal lava.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's lava. I ain't getting close to lava. I feel I'm close enough as it is.
And
Oof.
I am Secret Agent Metal Gear, bitches.
Woo. How close?
Where's your
do you get
cardboard
with this
box?
thing? Where do you move? Huh?
Let's see. I mean, I guess she would cautiously start going down the stairs.
I would be right behind her. I would be putting myself in front, stupidly, again.
Yeah, this thing is
Yeah. I'm
8
being
feet from the
sneaky.
bedroom. Yeah.
I'm providing
8 feet.
distraction so that you can be sneakier.
And it looks
Look
over
at me,
that
over
straight to you, Waldorff. It's 15 feet from your face, the closest point in that lava. Vesperin is between you and himself. He rises up, eyes first staring directly at you, and then rises until it would reach where his navel is. Lava drips right off his armor. He's unscathed, just as he was when he first emerged and fell into a lava river when you last encountered this creature. Was it you? No weapon. He backs to just make way up to the rocky landing, where he could take a step to sort of get eye level with the rest of you up on that platform. There's no door or wall there, so just looks straight over and observes the group. Rest up. And he nods.
Are you the Shumrix?
To the undead style. He points behind himself. The Shumrix. That
Who looks
voice returns.
behind
The
him?
voice from the hallway.
There's just lava
It's sort
behind
of
him?
filling the space. Well, there's lava on either side of this forge spurned undead. When he points behind him, though, you notice a little walkway. After a small stream of lava, it looks like it continues along. But the voice continues, the voice you can hear from above. It's that soft voice, the manufactured one. You've gotten close enough. I'll give you an honest chance. You turn around, my men will have you. Or you wait. Give yourself a chance. And find me.
We've come this
You let
far.
me know when you're ready.
Wouldn't make much sense to turn around and go back now, would it? That's a long walk.
What you guys doing? Sit
Who's
down.
hurt?
Does the creature see me, or am I super fucking sneaky?
He doesn't see you.
I rolled a nat 20, so like
Yeah.
I feel like I am painted like a rock right now.
He certainly doesn't see you. And he's not attacking anybody. He's standing before you all, giving you an opportunity. The Shumerix, as it were, is speaking to you. I have a proposition.
Sorry, go ahead.
Fair fight. When I take Kovlar, it would be my ambition. So take some time. Don't wait too long. My own Grave Knights, they march this way, the way to which you came. Every minute you wait, the streets of Clovelall is given fresh pain. Would you like to hear them die? I can hear it.
Guess we shouldn't wait then, huh?
Ian, while he's talking, by the way, I'm totally marking the zombie thing for death.
All right.
I was gonna ask if you guys want me to cast Bind Undead on it and see if we can turn it into a minion. Just take it with us.
Put it in there. Honest.
It might be too high level.
You hear faintly off in the distance, created from this, you hear the sounds of battle in Tovlar, people dying, people fighting. If you guys rest, it would be for minutes, not hours, of course. That's a given. You don't even know what's going on under the surface. You don't know where Aghi is right now. Harald is the Grave Knights.
I think our only choice is to keep going.
We have to keep going. The longer we wait, the more people in Kovlar die.
Hey.
Bobby's right.
Put a faith in us.
There's no going back.
We can-
There's no waiting.
No sense in delaying the inevitable.
Well,
How bad does Waldorff still look?
I'm only down 32 out of 170 something, 178. I'm at 146, so I'm doing much better than I was before. I'm good with going forward because I also have a couple of healing spells that I can cast in combat. Like I could drop Regenerate on myself. I could, put down a another Field of Life, which will hurt undead as well. So I'm good. I'm good with going forward now. How does Sailix look? He took a walloping at the end there.
Sailix was alright. His wounds healed on their own at a certain point.
well.
Rune will reach into his hack and hand Dorf a couple of potions. Drink these up.
Oh.
You don't need both. Keep one.
I appreciate it.
They're moderate healing potions. They'll heal with 3d8 plus 10.
8 plus 10. All right.
Can I drink one now and save one?
Yep.
Yeah, well, so here's the issue is you still hear the screams. It's quite close. It's not
Oh, that's-
cacophony from far away. It's sort of eyes on the ground. I mean, you can hear individuals being cut down, doors being boarded up, protected.
Only one way to stop
It's
it.
acting almost like an outbreak. The undead, they rise as these citizens, as they die, they're coming back. You've taken a minute.
Only making us angry. You're only sealing your own fate.
Waldorff,
You wouldn't like to see me angry.
I'd like to see you, my general. Come now. It's time to meet. This creature will lead you down the path. Who follows?
Oh,
I do.
Sailix does.
Yeah.
Immediately.
Vespa does.
I am
but
right
sneakily
behind
not.
him. I'm actually being very polite to the undead. Is it a pit fiend? What's it called? A fiend of some kind?
It's the Forge Spurned. Yeah.
Forge spurned.
The loyal. The Drawstar.
I would actually be treating it rather civilly, and yeah, no, I'll definitely follow.
Right.
It's like being mean to the butler. You just don't do it.
Yeah. You arrive finally to a large pool of lava. No crown, nothing. This thing walks up and sort of just looks down. Waiting. Maybe for a ship, maybe a walkway to open up. Because you see there's more land on the other side. It leads out, up and out somewhere. So this Forge Spurn walks up to the edge of this small pool of lava and sort of just waits for turning to look at you. He inspects you for a second to make sure you're all well, that you're strong.
Well enough.
He looks at Sailix, eyes up and down. Drag his finger along the lava, runs it along his fingers in thought, and then inspects again. He gets too close, it hurts a little bit. And the pure heat radiating off his body. You've all spent about 3.5 hours on foot to get to where you are now. Suddenly, there's a rumble again, just like what happened with this Forge Spurned. Something immune. It shakes. Some of these pillars that line this room, they wobble a bit. You remember a traditional dwarven helmet? Often will have 2-point spikes. Horns, they got them from the Sky Citadels. These ones are spread out quite far. A dwarf your size, perhaps? No. They're horns, you realize too late. You're looking at a dragon.
What the fuck?
Shit.
Let's begin then, shall we?
Oh, fuck off.
He rises out. Lava dripping from his body. The Forge Spurn backs away. He makes no attempt to
Marking
attack you.
him for
Instead, he observes. It's rare to see a dragon smile, but on this occasion he doesn't pass it up. And that voice, human, transfers again to that deep, booming, draconic voice. And in draconic, calls. the Unforgotten's name. But in Draconic. As he's given you the title. But that's where we're going to end off tonight, guys.
Shit.
So that's fun.
Oh my god. You've got to
Yeah.
be kidding me.
Well,
That's
the dragon
humorous,
was inevitable.
everybody.
It was. That's not a dwarf, by the way. That is
no.
not.
No, and
But
it's
I
interesting.
think we have an
now,
opportunity for a conversation.
Isn't a word that makes any sense. Phonetically, it wasn't dwarven. Move the letters around. An X would do the trick. The Shumerix. It's an ancient draconic word for rage.
Wow.
But that's where we're ending off tonight. Thank you everybody for watching. We spilled over midnight just a little bit, so we're gonna do our outros. And I'm gonna let everybody get to sleep. Except for me, I think I'm gonna be murdered. But starting with Jen.
Hi, I'm Jen. I played the best friend this evening, as well as the brief cameo by Hysteria, the bad guy. You can find me on the internet as Savage Sparrow. SavageSparrow.com is my website where I sell awesome, nerdy apparel and accessories. So give that a look-see.
Dr. Mr. Smith.
Hello, I am Mr. Smith, and I played the crazy-ass wizard, Rune Ravenswood, who attempted bullshit, failed, but made it out in the end anyway. You can find most of us at pennyfairtale.com, by the way. You can always find my musings at IamMrSmith.com. Or you can find me on Twitter at Mr_Smith. Because I'm fancy like that.
Sam.
Can never go after Mr. Smith because he's too amazing for me. I'm Sam. You can find me at Scribbling Penny on the internet. And tonight I played Poppy, who is Rune's younger sister. But next time I will be Aghi again. So, yay.
Aghi doesn't know, so don't tell Aghi. Aghi doesn't know. Daniel.
Hi guys, I'm Daniel. I played Sailix tonight. It was a roller coaster, from start to finish, and it just keeps getting better as we go on. So yeah, definitely come check us out. And next weekend and the weekend after, because next weekend I'll play a mystery character that we get to find out. But last time we Sailix faced the dragon, he died.
He won't. So James, you go.
Yo! I'm the one that got us into this mess. You can find me on Twitter at JamesRGlass. You can find me here every Sunday night with this crowd. Once again, and as always, do not forget to check us out on patreon.com/pennyforatale, on YouTube, where you can check out all of our old videos. Every couple of weeks they get uploaded and refreshed and whatnot. I don't know what y'all are talking about because he wants me to be a general, so we'll see how this goes. I think we should at least have a conversation before we jump into the lava here. Maybe
That's
we
right.
can
Pale stranger makes a return.
little
Oh,
parlay.
man.
Yeah,
You guys are gonna-
Jesus. You are
All
evil.
right,
Oh, and I will
well-
be back next week as King Haral. So yeah, that's
Yes,
gonna be
you
lots of fun.
will. Yeah, so next week we are taking something of a spin to handle like the curse. There's a curse going on. And once that's dealt with, we will then, for our 50th episode, manage this dragon. Good luck. Good luck to all of you. I love you all, and I'm sorry in advance, but this
No,
is
you're
going
not.
to
Don't
take
even pretend.
And I think we also have something else special happening for episode 50. It's going to be a banger. It's going to be just absolutely bonkers. So just subscribe and see us next week. We'll be back at the same time, 8:30 Eastern time. But other than that, again, we're sponsored by Fantasy Grounds Unity. That's what we used for this whole game. If you like them, check them out. Not that expensive. The only sheet is fantastic. And then our music tonight was Michael Gelfi and Rock Narden. But I'm going to go to bed and contemplate my decisions. So good night.
Cut your life choices, Ian.
I'm going to get shot.